Hello, my name is Sophia, and today I'm going to talk about different topics, like for example, origins of Judaism. There, I'm going to explain who was Abraham, who was Moses, what was the mission of both of them, how was the Canaan country and the Israelites created, who were the Hebrews, what was the Exodus, why were the Israelites slaves, and more. Also, I'm going to talk about the spread of Christianism, how they spread it, who had the idea, who was Paul, who was Constantine, who was the Pope, and more. And finally, I'm going to talk about Rome. How was Rome divided? Which part prospered more? What was the Byzantine Empire? And that's it. Let's go. The Hebrews are the ancestors of the Israelites and the Jews. God led the future of the Hebrews in charge of Abraham, with the only instruction of leaving Mesopotamia. As a reward to this, he promised him a new land and new descendants. This is how Canaan and the Israelites were created. The Israelites lived there for many years, but they had to move. Why? Because of famine. And where? They moved to Egypt. There they were very prosperous and they grew very fast. But the Pharaoh didn't like this, so he decided to take them as slaves, just because they could become very powerful. This is when Moses appears. Moses was told by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. He talked to the Pharaoh, but the Pharaoh didn't agree. So he was punished with a series of disasters until he released them. When this happened, the Exodus started. What is the Exodus? The Exodus is the journey of the Israelites of coming back to Canaan. During the journey, they reach a mountain called Sinai. There, God gave Moses two tablesons, where was written a code of moral laws that nowadays are known as the Ten Commandments. Finally, the Israelites conquered Canaan and created their own society. The Christians wanted to show the world the message of Jesus, but how could they do that in a place where the government was very strict? People didn't like new things, and probably they were gonna be punished. Well, I have the answer to that. No, sorry. Paul had the answer to that. He had the idea of writing the message of Jesus and distribute copies of it. The Roman leaders became concerned about this, and as a consequence, they arrested, they killed, like for example, Paul, and they even banned Christianity. But this didn't stop the Christians. They started to meet in secret and had their local leaders called the bishops. Ironically, the most honored bishop of the story was the Roman bishop, known as the Pope. The acceptance of Christianity came when the emperor himself became Christian. But how? How was that possible? According to the legend, Constantine was being prepared to a battle. Which battle? The battle to conquer Rome. In that moment, he saw a cross in the sky. This meant to him that if he became Christian, he could win the battle. And obviously, things happened that way. Constantine became Christian and he won the battle. As the new emperor, he removed all the bans against the practice of Christianity. As you may know, Rome was divided into parts, the western and the eastern part. If you ask me which one is the better one, I can say that both of them were good, but the eastern part, or the Byzantine Empire, was the most prosperous one. The Byzantine Empire was ruled by a great emperor. His name was Justinian. He was a really passionate person, and he loved Rome. He had a great wife that always advised him, and her name is Theodora. When Justinian died, a new society became powerful. This society was the Byzantine Empire. But why were they so prosperous? I can say that the population of that place was very responsible, they respect the laws. Also, they were very passionate, and I can lie. They had a great position, the position between two seas. This helped them control the trade. Merchants from all around the world, like for example, the Europe, from Asia and from Africa, traveled just to trade in Constantinople. How religion affects in the world today? Actually, the religion affects in many ways, like for example in cultures. Some cultures are actually based on religion. Also, people don't do certain things because these things are considered as sins. Or people do specific things for their sins to be forgiven. What I mean with this is that religion affects in how people behave. What have I learned about this? I have learned that religion is a very important part of history. It helps us understand why places and countries were created, like for example Canaan. And also it helps us understand why some people behave in certain ways. Like for example, why for them are so important some monuments or some places. And that's it. Thank you very much.